Welcome, everybody, to One Nation, a Sports Soccer Magazine Extra. I am your host, Kirk DeMars, and I will be joined by my co host, Jay Gill, here in just a moment. Tonight's program is a special one for me. I'm dedicating this to my brother who passed away 9 years ago, and so tonight's program is in memory of him. Jay, how you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing real good. You're bringing tears to my eyes already.
Well, I thought
That's a great picture of Uncle Kerry.
yeah, it's hard to believe it's been 9 years, but for me, it's a special thing because we did a lot together. Just he's a year younger, and we grew up playing sports, and he was my one that we would go out in the backyard and play basketball, baseball, football, whatever. And so I just wanted to honor him tonight, this very day, 9 years ago. So anyway, enough of that. We're gonna move on. We've got a great program tonight, don't we?
We have an awesome program tonight. We've got two very special people in the Jefferson City school district joining us tonight, and I'm excited to talk about them.
Well, you go ahead and start talking about them because we're gonna roll on this thing.
That sounds awesome. First up, we have the current activities director with us tonight, Chad Rizner. He's been a part of the Jefferson City School District for 24 years. Talk about commitment. Chad actually went to the Jefferson City High School where he graduated in 1991. He received his bachelor's degree from the University of Wyoming and a master's in administration from Lincoln University. He taught for 1 year at Mount Vernon Middle School before moving back to Jeff City. He taught eighth grade for 6 years at the Thomas Jefferson Middle School before moving to the high school in 2002. He's had many roles over the years, including a 7 year stretch as the student council advisor. And then he has spent the last 4 years as the activities director. He saw need in the school and he stepped out of his comfort zone and he took that challenge head on. We're going to dive more into his time there and his future with the school district as the show goes on. Next up, we also have with us tonight head girls basketball coach Kay Foster. She taught at the Jefferson City School District for more than 3 years before she retired just a few years ago. Not to age Kay, but that means she started teaching around she was 15 years old.
Yeah,
So
you
had
need
two
to.
previous stints.
Yeah, you need to
She
not
also
age.
had two.
You need to learn that real quick. You
Yeah,
don't age any woman.
yeah,
Thank you.
that's why I
Thanks, Jay.
said she started at 15. No problem. She also had two previous stints with the Jefferson City girls basketball team, one from 1983 to 1988, and one from 2010 to 2016 as the assistant coach both times. More recently, before taking over as the head coach this past year, she had a 76% winning percentage as the Missouri Warriors and Missouri Phenom basketball coach. She brings a ton of passion, excitement, and a attitude with her to JC. So I'm not sure if you guys have been paying attention or not, but between both of our guests tonight, that's over 5 decades of experience in the JC school district, and that's a ton of wisdom. I'm ready to be enlightened and thrilled as we about Jefferson City tonight. Are you with me? Kirk, are you with me?
I'm with you, but you're putting a lot of dates on stuff on people, and I don't know if I'm with you on that. So we're just have to jump in and
That's
bring
all on
them
Chad.
in. We're gonna go ahead and bring them in here right now. Hi, Chad. Hi, Kay. How are you guys doing?
Great. How
Hello.
you doing?
We're doing great. Um, I'm glad that we're doing this remotely so that there wouldn't be anything thrown as far as the date wise. So
Yes, this works. I had to hook my phone up because it was dying battery. So we're going to location two,
yeah,
location two here.
yeah,
So
you're doing just fine. You'll be just fine.
Hey,
So
Chad, I want to start with you tonight, and I kind of want to talk about your work activities director. What are some things that you've worked on the past 4 years? And then I kind of want to talk about your future as well.
Well, it's been an interesting 4 years, a very different 4 years as far as the history of our district goes. We renovated our building. If you've been to the high school and Nichols Career Center, that's now joined, and we renovated almost every space in the building. And so that was 2.5 of the years that I was the AD. And that meant that certain areas were closed, certain areas were open, and everything was dirty and dusty for all those 2 years. And then we've all, also seen the opening of the public high school with Capital City High School, the transitioning of the staff. We lost a lot of coaches that went over to Capital City, and so it's been yeah, and to throw into the mix a tornado and a global pandemic. So just normal stuff, I guess. Huh?
I think normal is far from the word that I would choose. Talking with you kind of before the show, I thought you put a really good analogy out there. As far as it's like you were the activities director during wartime. Uh, I think I think you've done an amazing job directing the school and the district, and I'm kind of excited. I'm kind of sad because this past fall you did announce that you will be stepping down as the activities director, and I kind of want you to talk about your future. What do you have in the plans?
Well, I had taught for 20 years, and so I'm going to go back to that and teach sociology and government and U.S. history, whatever. Over the years, I've taught a little bit of everything, and so I'm going to do that and a little bit more time being a dad and a son. And I've enjoyed the time that I've been the AD, but things change, and you kind of get to a point and see what's important and what you do, and so I've enjoyed my time as AD, but looking forward to moving on, getting back in the classroom, connecting with students, which is why I went into education. And when you go into administration, you kind of lose some of that.
Well, as I've told you many times, I've appreciated so much working with you and everything that you've done for us as far as Sports Locker, getting the student athletes for the magazine, and you've been an absolute pleasure to work with. And it was neat for me to just see all the different accomplishments that you've had, not only as athletic director, but just with the students. All those
Mhm.
pictures that we showed, it looked like you were having lots of fun with the students.
Right. Yeah. And that, most of those pictures were from my student council days. And cause I've, been out of coaching for probably 10 years or so. And so I did, football and football for 17 years, basketball for 15 at every level, from eighth grade to varsity with football, and eighth grade and freshman with the basketball, and then did student council for 7 or 8 years. So always been involved, and just took pride in being a captain at JC.
Well, there was that one picture in particular, and Coach K would probably appreciate this. You had some serious vertical. You were up in the air on that thing.
I think the camera was really low, and I jumped off something really high.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Hey, Jay, why don't you go ahead and go with the first one for Miss K?
Kay, I am so happy to have you on the show tonight. Your record speaks for itself. I'm kind of wanting to hear about, this is your third stint coming back to JC. What brought you back to this program last year?
Well, in my life, it's always been faith, family, and friends. And when I started my first 5 years coaching, I got hired to coach and teach. Maybe I should say teach and coach in that order. And then I had two little boys at home, so got out in 1988. And then my daughter, who's quite a bit younger than my boys, I got back into coaching again when she was an eighth grader. And so that time between 1988 and 1910 or 2010, 2011, I did a lot of developmental basketball and club basketball, not only for my daughter, but for my boys too. and then got back into the coaching at that time when my daughter went through her 4 years at the high school. And when she graduated, I hired, and it gave me an opportunity to go watch her play college ball for 4 years. And when you're retired, you have a lot of extra time. There's a lot of reflection and come to Jesus meetings that you have. And one thing that stood out in all those come to Jesus meetings was that the Lord wasn't done with it. And he told me I was a coach. And I said, well, if that window opens, then we're going to do it. And it was amazing how many head coaching jobs came open last year around this community. And the Lord just guided me this direction, and I'm home again. So it's been a great fit.
Well, I know that there's a lot of people happy to have you there, and I'm just going to bring up a quick little comment here. Deanna Nilgis, she's saying right here that, and an even better person. So you made an impact not only as coach, but as a role model and a mentor to these young ladies. So I know they all think that.
Thank you so much. And I will say something about Chad. He's been nothing but a pleasure to work for. I've watched him when he graduated from high school, and he was quite an athlete back then. And everything he's ever touched just turned to gold. And I've just really appreciated the opportunity to work for him this year there.
That's great.
Thank you.
That's always good to hear that kind of stuff, right?
Yes, for sure. Thank you.
That's good. My son-in-law, he's still waiting to hear that good stuff from me, aren't you, Jay?
I will work for it and I will earn it, sir.
Okay, you got it. Hey, speaking of working for it and earning it, we're going to go ahead and bring on our first sponsor, and then we'll come back, and there's some comments that some people have made about you, Coach K, and we'll share those here in just a moment.
Thank you.
Nation bow before him, bow before my Lord. Let every nation bow before him, bow before my Lord. Rulers and kingdoms will adore and bow before my Lord.
That was Diesel Power Plus in California, Missouri with Mr. Delton and Ashley Rissler. They've done a great job, and we appreciate them as sponsors of the program. And I have no idea what that noise is, but it's annoying me. I'm sorry, guys. It must be on my end somehow. But we've got some great comments from some people that I want to share real quickly, and I'm just going to go ahead and put you up on screen, Kay, and I'm going to go ahead and say those comments, okay?
Okay.
All right. We have Hannah Nilgis. What I appreciate about Coach Foster the most is how she always checks in on all of us and reminds us that you can work hard while still having fun. Hannah Linthicum. I love how Coach Foster is very supportive and how she always encourages us. She pushes us to be the best player and person we can be every day and has helped us improve tremendously. Grafton Craighead. I appreciate Coach Foster for always pushing her team to be the best, keeping us humble and standing up for us. Emery Graham. She has a passion to make us grow as basketball players, but also better people in general. You can tell she really cares about us as individuals. Grace Craighead. I appreciate Coach Foster for always checking in on us and being there for us. I especially am grateful for her trying to make my season as enjoyable as possible, even though it's not how either of us pictured it going. And then from a parent, Deanna Nilgis, the confidence Coach K has instilled in our girls is off the charts. She is not only a great coach, but she has been a great mentor and friend to these girls. As a parent, I'm so thankful for that type of encouragement from a coach. Well, there you go. There were some nice things that were said about you, and I know that that is how everybody feels. And they were all more than willing to share those with us tonight. So we appreciate you guys all doing that for us.
Thank you. I'm very humbled by those comments. I love my kids.
They it's amazing that you can go through and spend that time with these kids, and then later on, all of a sudden, you start seeing them getting married, and they're these big people all of a sudden. You think, how did that happen?
I've got several of those.
Yeah, yeah. Well, in this next segment, Jay, you want to go ahead and kick this off as far as go ahead and direct your question?
Yeah. Chad, I kind of want to keep the ball rolling, talking about Kay here. Um, you had that coaching search going on. You had to hire the head basketball coach for the girls, and you turned to Kay Foster. I kind of want to know why you picked her and what you've enjoyed so much working with her this year.
Well, I think if you just listen to the things that the kids said, that's why. I love hearing that because it makes us that we made the right choice, and we knew we did. And I've known Kay for a long time, and always respected her. And the kids don't lie; they'll tell you what they think, and you could certainly hear the admiration that they have for her, and that's certainly well deserved. And is a very good, knows how to coach in basketball too, which helps us look good too.
Well, they're doing pretty good with that so far. It's been fun to watch.
Yes, for sure. They if you've not come out and seen them play, it's pretty special. They have a special season going right now.
Yeah, very good. Kay, tell us a little bit about what you appreciate about Chad and just his work that you've seen, as far as his interaction with you and everything that's going on there.
Well, I can't say enough about Chad. He's always there. Poor Chad, I can text him on a Sunday or text him on a Saturday night or text him like 6 o'clock in the morning. And, he always answers. He's always on the clock. He's always willing to put the hard work in, and he's always visible. He goes to a lot of the away games this year with COVID. I can't believe the nightmare he's had on just trying to reschedule, and then reschedule again. And that's just for one game. And I appreciate that because it can't be easy. And he's just always has an ear. He's a can-do person. So if I need something, he tries to figure out how we can do it instead of automatically saying no. And those are all things that I appreciate. And, just the positivity and being there 100% for our program.
Thank you.
Again, like I said,
Yes.
It's all about you guys tonight. We appreciate you, and we just wanted to honor you. And you guys are doing a fantastic job. And hopefully, people will not only recognize that right now as the things that you're doing, but you are leaving a legacy behind in all the different things that you've done. Chad, before Jay has any other questions, I want to ask you real quick. What was that award that you won a few years ago? As far as what was that? Student council or?
The National Student Council Advisor Award, and I was involved in student council and when I was in school, and lucky to get the chance to be the advisor of that, and just continued the excellence that we've had in that program for a lot of years. Certainly not as visible as our sports teams, but anybody that's connected with the school or inside the school know all the stuff that student council does for JC, and we're pleased to keep that going.
Well, again, from a lot of the photos that I've seen, and again, just the different comments that have been made about you, I know that you have made student life fun, and you've made it very rewarding for a lot of these kids. And I know all the parents out there would just say thank you for everything that you've done with that.
And I think, J Pride is something that we throw around as one of the, on the end of our basketball floor and on a lot of our shirts and things. And to me, that pride is the excellence in all different areas in our music program, our theater program, speech and debate and athletics. And, we have people that, once again, not as visible, not on the front page of papers like sports are a lot of times, but still very critical or very important to making a school enjoyable and successful.
Well, here's a good comment by Scott Blake. Chad's done a great job leading us through some challenging times. Addition of Capital City, tornado, COVID, and more. Thank you for your support of our athletes.
Very good. Thank you.
Pretty much says it all right there. Jay, pick it up.
It's just funny. It's funny hearing that comment because you start thinking like, wow, Chad, is that like a whole decade's worth of tragedies you ruined? And nope, you did that in 4 years. So no,
Yeah,
I think it's
with
pretty great.
With COVID, that's been brought up, and like we have a boys basketball game tomorrow night, and the weather might be such that we can't have that game. Is a very normal thing, and I would guess that we probably in a normal year have 20 to 25 of those types of games where it's canceled or postponed because of rain, like with baseball and softball, or bad weather in the winter. And I counted up the other day, and we probably have 20 to 25 throughout the whole year in a normal year. And this year, I think we have 80 so far. And most of those are COVID related, and so when you're when you're scheduling a varsity football game, like the week of the game, that's would be pretty unheard of before this year, but this year has rewritten the rules on all that stuff. And so that's certainly been a challenge.
There's a lot that goes into that. Just as you were saying, and Jay made that comment. I mean, there is just a lot of things that go into that, and I can think back at last year when a lot of the spring sports they were pretty much canceled. I mean, that for a senior, that's a pretty big deal, and
Yeah,
just trying to make that. I guess you would say still make that as special as you possibly could finishing out. And I think you guys did a good job just by recognizing those seniors, even though they weren't able to compete.
yeah, that was tough to watch them lose their season, but we were in a spot as a country, as a world, I guess, where we didn't really know what to do, and so we learned from that. And thank goodness we were able to get the fall in, and we've been pretty good. I mean, girls basketball has been shorted as much as anybody, and that has to do with COVID and has to do with them being really, really good, and people don't want to play them. And so it's been a struggle. Like Coach Blake just commented, like the group that he had that ended up getting third in state this year was a record-setting team, the best team that we've ever had, boys soccer team we've ever had at Jeff City. And so certainly the number of games that they have were important to them because of records and things like that, and opportunities to break some of those records. And so I know that Coach Blake worked hard to find people that wanted to play us, and we've myself and J.R. Simmons and Jordan Chapman, my two assistant ADs, are scouring the internet trying to find people that can play us or want to play us in anything. So we're trying.
Yeah. Well, you guys are doing a good job, and I know the kids appreciate that.
We've got all hands on deck because I'm trying to.
Yeah.
And it needs to be that way at this. Because like you said, you didn't know how to handle all that, and I still think there's still a lot of things still to figure out. So, kind of a daily and weekly thing, isn't it?
It is for sure. It's it's to think about how the coaches and how teachers have to do things. And I know that a lot of the public was clamoring for schools to be back in session, and we did. And had to deal with the consequences of that, which meant that we had a lot of teachers and coaches get COVID and then have to deal with that and deal with their families and then also try to worry about the continuation of their class and their team. And so, a lot of teachers and a lot of coaches have stepped up and they're always doing the tough work and not getting much recognition for it. And this year it's even more that way.
Well, absolutely. And, those people that are working so hard, again, a lot of people may not see it, but that type of thing is very much appreciated and it will not go not rewarded. The appreciation of the kids and the parents and just everything that you guys are doing. And again, that hard work is going to pay off. So, speaking of hard work, we're gonna do another quick little promo for CNS Business Services, and then we'll be right back. And actually, it just told me not now, so we're gonna skip that one here real quick. I'm going to share real quickly about CNS Business Services. They are constantly looking for um, people to be able to fill positions. There's lots of different companies that they're trying to fill those positions with, and it's amazing that you find in this time that there are people that are not receiving enough applicants. And so Paula Benny and Stephanie Lehman and that whole crew over there at CNS Business Services, they do a great job as far as trying to put people into their positions that are needing to be filled because business and life is going on, and again, people are trying to handle all this stuff, and they've done a great job as far as trying to put people into those positions and have good paying jobs. And we just appreciate CNS Business Services as far as being one of our sponsors and doing such a fantastic job for our community. And boy, I hope I did that justice.
Yeah,
I do not know what
you did
happened.
wonderful.
I don't know what happened to that commercial, but Jay, why don't you go ahead and go on?
That sounds good. Hey, Kay, I was kind of wanting to hear a little bit about when you were with Missouri Phenom, and I kind of want to hear about. I know you have some girls that you coach Phenom, and you're also coaching them right now. I just want to hear about your time there and the challenges you faced, and you walked away with a 76% winning record, which is extremely good.
Yeah, well, thank you. I started out a little mom and pop organization called the Missouri Lady Warriors, and brought up several. I got a WNBA, playing in the WNBA. I got two playing pro ball right now in Europe. I got a couple of Americans. I have 16 total of this play college ball. And when my daughter went to college, that club portion that I was involved in at the time was over because I was basically the club, and got hooked up with got asked maybe if I was interested in getting back into coaching on the club scene a couple years later. And I just told my husband and I, we went up to Columbia, watched him play, and I was taking copious notes and met with a couple of the coaches, and which were also the dads, and said, you guys are shopping. Also, it's got to be a match for you as well as a match for me. And that turned out to be Hannah Nilgis and Sarah Lithicum and Hannah Lithicum's group. And I had them for 2 years. And knowing the way the club stuff was going, I was a small mom and pop club that, we did it out of our own pockets for $500 a year. We did the whole year. And, now it's a pretty cheap price for what kids have to pay to play basketball anymore. And I just kind of steered the kids toward the Phenom. At that time, I knew Greg Logston. He's done a great job. I've coached against him for years. And I knew the big clubs were squeezing out the small mom and pops. And I noticed they also take the top off, meaning your like Division I athletes, they're going to put on better teams, leaving some of your ones that aren't maybe Division I's without a place to play. So I steered them that way because I wanted to make everybody had a place to play at that time when they started taking the cream off. And those 8 kids that I started with have all found a place to play over the last 4 years. So it worked out really well. I'm happy for that.
I find it amazing the amount of time that these kids put in. And when I was growing up, we didn't have the travel teams. Um, we had all-star teams that we would play baseball in the summer and things like that, but we did not have travel teams for like, AAU basketball, things like that. They didn't have that. It didn't exist at that time. I'm dating myself right now. That's been a little while ago.
Well, in the
But
city constellation, I was playing high school ball during Title IX. So I was one of the pioneers in that. And we didn't even, the only thing we did in the summer was go to our own high school basketball camp. That was the only opportunity. And then when I was a senior, they had some AAU ball that was, basically one tournament a year. So yeah, things, it's just phenomenal the opportunities kids have nowadays. And it's just exciting for them.
Well, and again, not only is the time for the kids, but it's the time for you as a coach, being able to, I mean, you guys have to travel and, schedule all those things too. I know you were administrator of that, so uh, a,
Yes.
a lot of appreciative parents and a lot of appreciative
Yeah.
student
Well,
athletes.
thank you. It was very fulfilling. A lot of time, but very fulfilling. But when you look back at the administration part of it and doing all of it, the budgeting, it prepared me for today's job that I'm in now. So things don't happen by chance. It was just, the good Lord had bigger plans for me than I did. I've always said that. And it was just one piece of the puzzle he was doing to get me prepared for the job I have now. So I'm grateful.
Very good. Hey, Jay is going to agree with me. Our time always goes by so quickly, and we've pretty much ran out of time. But I want to give both of you the opportunity to make a final comment, and we'll go ahead and start with you, Chad. Any final
Okay.
comments that you want to
Start.
make?
You want me to go first?
Go for it.
Okay. Hey, well, guys, thanks a lot for having me on. I do appreciate it. And anytime that I can talk about girls basketball, I am all fired up about that. I do have a shout out to my kids. If anybody's listening, defense is fun. So just don't forget that. And also, the parents, thank you so much. I know that you are giving me your most prized possessions, and I don't take that lightly, and I take that very seriously. And I've always thought that my kids' jobs was to love each other, and my job was to love them. And hands.
Scott Blake says, "Great work, Kay. Great program. Rock State." So we agree with that, and we'd like to have you on again, and hopefully that will be after a state championship. How's that?
I'll take that. I'll take
Okay.
that.
We'll just expect that. Chad, your closing comments.
Well, I guess my reflection or closing comment would deal with this year and the things we've dealt with, and the appreciation of the patients, the kids, and the coaches, the parents. Things have been really different with the attendance restrictions and wearing masks, and just all the things that have gone into this year. And I think for the most part, that's gone pretty smoothly, and I really appreciate the extra work that's been uh, the coaches and the kids to have to deal with this situation, and still do all the stuff that they did before, and be ready to play each night.
Well, that again is just a testimony of again the work that you guys put in. It is not going unnoticed, and I know you are not uh, losing fact that there's a lot of people that are involved in that. And well done to the both of you. We appreciate both of you. My sister, she actually made a comment. Great job, all of you. And so before we give Jay his final word, we just wanted to say thank you guys. If you'll hold on until after we're done closing out the program, we'll visit with you real quick. And but I always have to give Jay the final word, so we're have to do that real quick. Again, thank both of you. Thanks for being on tonight.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Wow, that was fun. That was good. What do you
No,
think,
that
Jay?
was yeah, that was fantastic. I really enjoyed visiting with Kay. I love what they've brought. Chad has not had it easy as the athletics director. He said he likes to get out of his comfort zone, and so tremendous effort from him these last 4 years. Not only did he go out of his comfort zone, he exceeded those expectations, and he really helped keep the bar high at JC, and even helped with the new school, Capital City. So hats off to him. And then obviously having Coach K on, such a delight. You can just see her passion. She is a basketball coach, and she does a phenomenal job. So very excited for the future, and I can't wait to see where it goes. But as you know, we are out of time. So, One Nation, we thank you all so much for tuning in. We appreciate watching tonight. Be sure to like, follow, and share our page so you can keep getting great content every week. As always, this is One Nation, a Sports Locker Magazine Extra. Thank you, guys.
Yep. God bless you. We'll see you next week.